Hi there, I'm Josef Bodnar. Welcome to another C++ video tutorial. In this video tutorial, I'm going to make another application in C++, which will search and find the greatest element within an array. I have already done a part of this application. I have declared an integer array named A, which has 10 elements reflected by this number 10 inside the square brackets, and those 10 values which this A array was assigned. On another line, I have declared the integer variable named num or num, which was assigned by the first element of this array A, represented by this number 500. Okay, so let's go ahead and complete this application. So let's see how this application works. This loop for goes through this array A, and this conditional structure if will compare each elements of this array A with value assigned to a num variable. If this test will be passed, integer variable num will be assigned with the greatest element within this array. And finally, the application will display in the console the greatest element of A array, because as I told you, if this test inside if conditional structure will be passed, every time this num integer variable will be updated with the greatest or greater element found within this array, and finally this integer num variable will be updated with the greatest element within this A variable, and will be displayed in console by this object cout. So this is the algorithm which will search and find the greatest element within an array, starting with the first element. So let's compile this application. Let's release it in console. So the greatest element within my array is 500. Let's do a check. It's quite obviously this is the greatest element within this array. So I'm going to do a few changes. Let's see if the greatest element is located in the middle of this array. Let's be let it be 600. Okay, let's release this application again. Okay, yeah, as you can see, this application found the greatest element, even changed the position of it. So that means it doesn't matter the position of the element, this application is going to find the greatest element. Let's change now the location here. Let it be 700. Okay, let's release the applications again in console. So here you go. Again, these applications found the greatest element, even I changed the location on the last position of this array A. So this application works. We'll search and find the greatest element within array. This application is going to work for any numeric array. I used integer, but this application works the same for the real numbers. If you want to use real numbers inside your area. It's going to work the same. Okay, let's see if I change the index which this variable num will be assigned. So let it be 3. That means this variable num will be assigned with this value 15, which represent the 4th element of this array. Maybe, as you know, each element of an array has an index which start with 0 and finish with a number of elements -1. So these values of this array will be located on index like that. 200 correspond with 0, 100 correspond with 1, 20 correspond with 2, and 15 correspond with 3. That means this value 15 will be assigned now to this integer variable num. So let's see how this application works. If I change the element of array which this variable num will be assigned, the application was able to find the greatest element, which is the last element within this array. But let's see if the greatest element is going to be the first element. So I change this with 1000. Let's release the applications again in console. Yeah, the application doesn't work anymore, correct, because not 700 is the greatest element within this array. As you can see, it's quite obviously 1000 is the greatest element within this array. So the application seems not to work properly if I change the first element integer num variable was assigned. If I used another elements within this array to assign this integer variable num. Why does it happen? Because the problem is here. We should change the value which was assigned to this variable I. Because when here the num variable was assigned by the first element of a array, this loop started to search the greatest element with the second value of this array, with the next index, with the second index of array, which is 1, and that's why the application didn't work properly, because this for loop skip the first element of array A. So I should change this value 1 with 0, and now I think this application is going to work properly, and let it be here 4. So the 5th element of this array, which is 600, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, let's release the application again in console. So here you go. In this moment the application works correct. Yeah, 1000 is the greatest element within array A, which is quite obviously. So that's all for today. Thank you for watching this video tutorial. I'm waiting for you to watch another tutorial on my YouTube channel. See you next time. Bye.